prevents Fernando from throwing his screwball, which cuts down on his choices.
He's been throwing it to the left-hand hitter tonight. He's thrown it to Dykstra about 3 or 4 times, end to end to Von Hayes.
And Cookie gets ground on one. He really socked it.
Out of here.
It is indeed. It's a fair ball, 3-run home run for Dennis Cook. How about that? Phillies lead the Dodgers 4-3 on Cook's first Major League home run.
That's a shocker. That is a shocker to the Dodgers. You believe that? Hit it just inside that foul pole. And you have to be happy about that.
It's the second game in a row where Fernando has given up a home run to the opposite pitcher. Kevin Gross hit one against him in his last start. Look at Cookie. A part-time outfielder at Texas. He can hit. 4-3 Phillies. Dykstra, base hit for Lenny. So Dykstra has hit in 14 of the last 15. Here's that round tripper again.
That was up and out over the plate and just stayed inside that foul pole about a foot or so. That's the short part of the ballpark, right down the lines here. It was hooking, but it stayed fair. Don Peronowski out.
Dodgers have bullpen action. That's Mike Hartley up there. Hits in the inning for the Phillies. They have vaulted in front 4-3. The slugger. Steve Carlton hit a grand slam off Fernando here one time.
Playoff.
That was on actually, that was in May of '84, Whitey. Play at second base, and no throw. Dykstra gets himself his 6th steal without having been caught.
He had a good jump. He had an excellent jump, and that's why Dempsey didn't throw the ball. He knew he wouldn't have any chance to get him. That grand slammer was in May.
May of '84.
It was in the playoffs.
No, Phillies weren't in the playoffs in that year.
How quickly we forget.
Makes a better story, though.
Never let the facts stand in the way of a good story.
That missed. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tommy Herr is the 8th batter to come to the plate this inning.
Fernando was 1 strike away from getting out of this inning without any damage, and Steve White came through with that base hit.
4 2-out runs for the Phillies. Herr is 1 for 2. He grounded out to second and singled away. A jammer, and that's foul just beyond Vukovich. He appeared to be limping a bit.
That's his natural walk, I believe, unless he's always hurt. He walks that way in the hotel. Harry Kellis has described that as a crab-like walk.
I think that's a pretty good description. This might find open spaces. Little dunker is in for a hit and another run. And the Phillies now lead the game 5-3. With that, the Phillies have batted around.
Oh, that's amazing. All that with 2 outs.
Number 9, right fielder.
Tommy sort of has to wonder what's going on here. Tommy Herr coming out of his little slump. He had 2 blue pits tonight, but it don't seem like line drives to him.
Phillies dug out alive after this inning. Lon Hayes, the 9th batter to climb in that box, all here in the 4th inning. Lon's 0 for 2. He's hit the ball to Javier twice. High drive into deep right field, but there's room for Hubie Brooks. That will end the inning, but a beauty of an inning for the Phillies. They get 5 runs in the inning, 6 hits, 1 man left on base. Bottom of the 4th coming up. It's 5-3 Phillies.
Everybody very happy, 'cause the sun is shining all the time. It's like another perfect day. I love LA. We love it. I love LA. We love it. We love it.
Hey, Schmidt, you're up. He's up. Move back. That kid's up. Move your cars. He's up. Okay, Schmidt. This is where your lucky streak ends.
Mike Schmidt drank his milk, and he still does. Full, low-fat or skim, milk is fitness you can drink.
A diamond is forever, born of dirt and grass, nourished with sweat and broken dreams. It is today as it was yesterday, an untouched tradition of the game. Traditions mean a lot to us, too. Our history of service to your banking needs goes back a long way, but hardly untouched. We keep finding new ways to make it better and better.
Get out.
What was that?
Get out.
I'll get the kids.
Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out.
What the?
Dad, Mom's making leftovers.
Now get Roy's Big Bacon Cheeseburger or a 2-piece chicken meal, just $1.99. So why stay home when you can?
Get out.
Bottom half of the 4th inning, the Phillies now lead it 5-3 as Mike Sharperson leads off. He got himself a pop single in the center field first time. 1 strike, the count on Sharperson. How quickly things change. Don't forget instant vacation night coming up Friday, June 1st. Phillies and the Mets at 7:35. Pack your bags, come to the ballpark by 6 o'clock. Report to gates G and H, right in between gates G and H, beginning at 6. No purchase necessary. The first 1,000 couples are eligible. Vacations are compliments of Rosenbluth Travel and Guest Quarters. 1-2. The great Medio DeMarco, peach impresario from Hamilton, New Jersey, is in attendance here tonight at Dodger Stadium along with his son Jimmy. Bouncing ball hit for the hole, but Dickie Thon moves over. Good stop by Jordan at first base. Sharperson is out. Also Jerry Taylor here from Bala Cynwyd along with Medio tonight.
Dickie knew he had to hurry this throw, and he did. Kind of a low throw, but Dickie stretching out there. Become an excellent defensive first baseman. Like a cat around that bag.
And tonight, as almost every night, working on that play down at first base where the coaches hit him ground balls and he comes up firing to second base to start a double play. I mean, they did that tonight for 20 minutes. And he makes it, you know, regularly. Dempsey 0 for 1 tonight. 2 home runs here last night, grounded to shortstop in his only at bat this evening. Ironic that the 2 backup catchers have caught both games in this series. We have not seen Mike Scioscia, and of course Aaron Dalton has not appeared. sure we'll see them both tomorrow.
Dalton had a better reason than Scioscia. He became a father.
There's Upper Darby's Mike Scioscia. Dempsey is 40. Three-one count on him. Dennis Cook issuing his second free pass.
Number 7.
Skippers don't like that, especially after you get the lead. You know, then you want to see your pitcher mow him down quickly. But we do have the bottom of the order here. However, Alfredo Griffin has a big hit tonight. He hasn't been getting many of them lately, but hit that ball into right field to drive in 2 runs for the Dodgers. Alfredo is 6 for his last 30.
He never hurt the Phillies much till tonight.
He does have a good batting average against left-handed pitching, though. He came into the game hitting .317 off left-handers this year. The guy the Dodgers loved at shortstop was Mariano Duncan. He had that one pretty good year for him, but they couldn't keep him healthy. And he's on the DL again right now, having a heck of a year with the Reds. Here's an infield pop-up. This will be caught by Dickie Fahn. There are 2 outs.
Now they got to worry about keeping Fernando in the ballpark. After Kevin Gross hit a home run off Fernando last week, early this week, Fernando's next time up, he hit a home run off Kevin Gross.
Fernando is safe on an error by Fahn his first time up. He has 8 big league home runs, including that one Whitey was talking about.
Swung for it.
Fernando has won a Gold Glove. He's a pretty good athlete. Took ahead in the count, 0-2. Took in the bullpen at the start of the year. Remember that? Made his first appearance in relief in Chicago. And came on with a good start. Nick decided to leave him in the rotation, and he's made all good starts since. League's best earned run average. 1-2. The Dodgers have 3 runs tonight, 2 of which are earned. So no matter what happens, that's going to blemish his ERA a little bit, because his ERA was 1.46. Close, but foul. That was close.
He jumped on Cook's slider. Really stung it. He just pulled it foul.
Blake goes to the mound and says we better come up with plan B. We're going to change the attack here once they let Tommy Herr know about it. Cook's a take charge guy too. Remember the day he caught the pop up Everybody else is trying to catch it, and Cook just took charge and caught it. Fernando gets a base hit. Dempsey stops at second. 2 on with 2 out. And that's the way it all started for the Phillies. Now it's back to the top of the lineup. Fernando's 5th hit.
Nice hitting. He just reached out on that fastball that was out away from him and drove it right through the hole.
Here's Samuel. Juan has fouled out and struck out. 0 for 2 tonight and 0 for his last 15. Time called. Nick Leyva emerging from the Phillies dugout. And you can see pitching coach Darrell Knowles is on the phone to the pen.
Everybody knows that Samuel can be pitched to, but he can also hurt you. So Nick wants to make sure that Cook's thinking and Lake's thinking is, you know, right on target.
Don Carmen beginning to throw in the bullpen. There's DC. A 400 hitter, he wants the world to know.
2 for 5. Both off left-hand pitcher.
The Dodgers had a left-hander who got him out. Mike Munoz. The Dodgers don't have any left-handed relief right now. Munoz is back in the minors and Searage is on the disabled list. So Fernando is the only left-hander on the Dodger 10-man staff. 2 on with 2 out. Two and nothing to Samuel. Juan desperately wanted out of New York. He's happy to be here. He's not happy being back at second base so abruptly. He would have liked more time. He doesn't feel comfortable there yet.
He has laid off 3 pitches out of the strike zone, which is unusual for Samuel, especially when he wants to drive in some runs, which he wants to do here. He's usually anxious, but he's been very patient in this at-bat.
Bases are loaded with Dodgers. Cook issues his 3rd walk. Javier, the switch hitter, is coming up now.
Javier, center field.
2 walks and a single have the Dodgers with a threat going here with 2 out. Javier 0 for 2 this evening. He bunted. Lake threw him out. He grounded to shortstop. In his Dodger career, he is 1 for 10. Before joining the Dodgers, he was hitting .242 in Oakland. He had played 19 games there. Cook from the windup. Just gave himself a lead. He didn't want to give it back. Time called. Javier got time. Cook was ready to pitch. Tommy sees a chance to get right back in this game. Javier was trying for a slam. He had his home run swing on there.
Cook has thrown 2 good fastballs. He threw that one right by him. Just blew it right by him. I'd throw another one of those, only a little higher this time, hoping he'd chase it.
you suggested, 1-2.
Tommy's probably got his fingers crossed there. He's been away on all these pitches. I don't think it'd be a bad idea to go in now. That's what Lake is calling something in.
Looks like he's setting up in. A jam job on that one too, out of play. Now Cook is ahead in the count, so he can work on him here a little bit.
He didn't get it in quite enough. He got it out over the plate a little bit.
Tommy's been here a long time now. This is Lasorda's 14th year as the Dodgers skipper. Now it's 2-2.
I believe that was his split finger that got completely away from him. Every pitch is supposed to have a purpose to it. That one had no purpose. Way outside, way high.
Base hit to right. 1 run scores. That's it. It's a 5-4 game, but they're still loaded. Javier gets his first National League run batted in. And that's going to do it for Cook. Here's Dennis Cook hitting a 3-run home run, but he's not going to be the winning pitcher because he's going to be lifted here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Phillies still have a 1-run lead. It's 5-4, but Don Carmen will be coming into this game. Cook got after 3 2/3, Whitey.
I think he just saying I didn't want to throw him a fastball. Well, that's what he threw him, and that's what he hit.
Pitching change here at Dodger Stadium. Phillies lead 5-4. We'll be right back.
One Tough Motor Oil announces one tough guarantee. The Quaker State 250,000-mile or 10-year guarantee. Register your new car at a participating service center. Then use only Quaker State. Have oil and filter changed as directed at a service center. And if any lubricated engine part suffers an oil-related breakdown within 250,000 miles or 10 years, you're covered. Quaker State guarantees it in writing. The big Q is One Tough Motor Oil.
Nobody tells me what to do with my body. I take responsibility for myself. I don't want anybody telling me what doctor to go to. I make my own choices. It may sound crazy. That's just the way I am.
This is a copycat, and so is this. Because Ford Taurus was first with its unique aero design. Not the Honda Accord, but the 4-cylinder Accord has yet to copy the Ford's powerful V6 engine, or an interior that seats 6, or a driver's side airbag as standard equipment. For quality, price, and value, you can't beat the originals, the Ford Taurus and Taurus wagon. What will they copy next?
7-9 financing or $900 direct from Ford on Taurus at your Quality Plus Ford dealer.
Home run hitting Dennis Cook, but as soon as the Phillies got the lead, he went out to the mound and things didn't go so well. And here's Javier's RBI hit.
That pitch right out on the outside corner up a little bit.
Don Carmen now takes over, making his 15th appearance. Don with 2 wins in that Phillies series with the Dodgers at Veterans Stadium. 2.91 earned run average.
I want to thank Bob Lebansky sending us up some nice cinnamon rolls. He's from Southampton, PA. His mother and dad, Mr. and Mrs. Harry Lebansky, will be celebrating an anniversary shortly.
The Dodgers still have them loaded. The Phillies still have a lead. It's 5-4. Tough left-handed batter here, Cal Daniels. Tonight he's 0 for 2 on a pair of ground balls, but he is a good hitter. Don't make a mistake on Daniels. Valenzuela at third base represents the tying run. Cal Daniels gives it a ride. He's got himself a slam. One pitch from Don Carmen and a grand slam home run, and the Dodgers lead 8-5.
Unbelievable. He hit a bullet. A line drive in those right center field bleachers. That's a long poke. He hit a fastball. He won't hit it any better than that.
Daniels with his 7th home run of the year, tying him for the club leadership. He takes a curtain call. Eddie Murray pops up to second base, and that'll finally complete the inning. But needless to say, we have major damage done as the Dodgers get 5 runs on 3 hits. Nobody left on base. 4 innings complete. Dodgers lead 8-5.
Dodgers officials
doing all I can do to get back to you. California blue, California blue, dreaming all alone.
There are those who thirst for something different, an escape from the ordinary. For them, there is a beer that refreshes like no other. Michelob Dry. Once you've experienced its bold taste with no aftertaste, there's no going back.
The unintelligent way.
Bruce, I need this claim done now.
Well, here's the policy data. The photos are in here, and the rest comes from the local office.
Thanks a lot.
The intelligent way.
Bruce, I need this claim done now.
Well, here's the policy data. Photos are in here, and the rest comes from the local office.
Thanks a lot.
For image processing and systems and network integration, call Bell Atlantic.
Get a free oversized beach towel with pictures of 3 Phillies players for children 14 and under. Courtesy of MAB when the Phillies play the Atlanta Braves. 1:35 Sunday, May 27th. Call 463-1000 for ticket information.
Nobody beats Midas. Nobody. Here's why.
Mention this commercial at Midas and get $10 off foreign car care service.
Neon Sunglasses Day coming up Sunday, June 3rd. Phillies meet the Mets at 1:35. This is a brand new gift item for children 14 and under. Neon green frames with a cord to hang them around your neck. Compliments of Breyers. Make your plans now. Order your tickets 463-1000 or stop by the Center City Ticket Office, First Pennsylvania Bank, Center Square. Got to start all over. Phillies were down 3-0 when I arrived over here, Whitey, and they are down by 3 runs now. A lot happened in the meantime, though.
10 runs scored in that 4th inning, 5 by each team.
Ricky Jordan started the last inning with a base hit. Here's a ball to Sharperson. Ricky is out. One down on the fifth. Next hitter will be Randy Reddy.
Left field.
Reddy playing in left field tonight is 0 for 2. He's grounded to Sharperson and flied to center. That's going to really do some major damage to Dennis Cook's earned run average because he gave up 6 earned runs tonight. Came into the game with a sparkling 1.46, but he can kiss that goodbye. Reddy is a .317 lifetime hitter in this ballpark. Fernando falls behind him 3-0. Now it's time for Tommy Lasorda and Ron Peranowski to say what's going on around here. Walks Reddy on 4 pitches. Fernando's first free pass. You know they don't like it. Is Perry reaching for the phone?
Charlie.
Yep.
Hayes. Third base.
Phillies batter will be Charlie Hayes. They had Hartley up earlier tonight. Charlie Hayes is 1 for 2. He's grounded out and single. On the corner, a strike. Going to be Hartley again. The grand slam by Daniels is the first for the Dodgers this year. Mike Socia hit one in August of last year. Outside 1-1. Bullpen action for the Phillies. Marvin Freeman is up. Don Carmen due to bat 3 hitters from now. Two balls and a strike. The tall one, Marvin Freeman. He worked an inning and a third here last night.
Charlie wanted to get 2 of them back with that swing. Both feet left the ground. He really had a good pitch to hit and a good cut, but he missed it.
2-2. Charlie's had some luck with Fernando. Came into the game 3 for 6 off him. That's a fair ball. Extra bases for Charlie Hayes. Reddy is heading for third base. Charlie coasts into second with a double, and the Phillies have second and third, 1 out. Phillies get the tying run to the plate.
I believe they called that a ground rule double, and the fan reached down over there, and I believe
Shortstop.
touched the ball. Charlie really belted that one just inside that chalk line. Well, I don't know. I don't know whether he touched it or not. Yeah, he did.
Ron Peranowski making his way to the mound. And Perry makes the pitching changes for the Dodgers, so let's see what's going to happen here. That's hit number 9 for the Phillies, quite a few.
I think he's going to go out there, yeah.
He has. We're going to see Mike Hartley in this game, so Fernando will not be the winner either, no matter what happens here tonight. Fernando did not complete 5 innings, so he can't win it. We've got a pitching change at Dodger Stadium, 8-5 LA in the 5th. We'll be right back.
It's our game. We love to see it, share it, and talk about it. The new AT&T Universal Card helps make it all possible.
Now, I know that you guys can make this dream a reality for me.
It's Visa or MasterCard and the power of AT&T.
Show them what we can do today.
The AT&T Universal Card. One world, one card.
Are you impressed that Ford's been the best-selling truck for 13 years? We're not.
Ford trucks, the best never ran.
We keep making our trucks better. Maybe that's why the sales gap is even wider. Because while we're busy keeping up with tomorrow, the competition is trying to keep up with us.
Ford trucks, the best never ran.
7-9 financing or $700 direct from Ford on F-Series trucks at your Quality Plus Ford dealer.
You want a bank who'll match your style.
Must be Tuesday.
And we hear you. You want someone who helps make banking easier. Someone who knows you best and shows it. You want a bank that knows how to help your business build for a better tomorrow. A bank that rolls up its sleeves and works. And we hear you.
We're First Pennsylvania, and we hear you. We hear you.
Rookie right-hander Mike Hartley comes on to pitch, appearing in his 10th game. No wins or losses, a 4.50 earned run average for Hartley. The Dodgers lead the game 8-5. And so much for our great pitching matchup tonight. Dennis Cook and Fernando Valenzuela, and I guess that's why we play the games, huh, Whitey?
Didn't work out that way. Both pitchers gave up a lot of hits and a lot of runs, as it turned out. And we're still only in the 5th inning of this ball game.
Hartley has faced the Phillies twice, pitching an inning and a third, giving up 3 hits and 2 runs, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. Both of the starting pitchers had hits tonight, a home run for Cook and a single for Fernando to help their own causes, but Fernando will not be involved in the decision, and Cook is on the hook. Dickie Thon, he is 1 for 2 tonight, a double and a run. Hartley is one of those ideal situations. If they let him pitch a couple of innings and he does well, he could be the winning pitcher. They've got a decision to make by an official score depending on what happens from here on. This guy features a split-fingered fastball. We're told it's Cal Daniels' first career grand slam. Dickie Thon sends a chopper to Sharperson. That's the second out.
That's a tough break. The Dodgers were conceding a run to almost anybody but Sharperson, who was playing in near the bag.
Looks like Darren Dalton is coming out now. He's going to bat for Lake. More power, and of course you got the percentages going in your favor here. Right-handed, left-handed. So Dutch comes out to bat for Lake. Lake with a big 2-out hit for the Phillies back in the 4th when they got 5 runs.
For the Phillies, batting.
New father Darren Dalton will bat. Dutch is in a slumber hit-wise too. He's 1 for his last 17. That gets Peronowski out to the mound.
Big hitter for both clubs here, Darren Dalton. If Dutch could do some damage, would help the Phillies. And of course, if the Dodgers can get him out, it would hold their 3-run lead again.
Tommy's not just staring at the wall, he's looking at that lineup card. Dalton hitting at .212, no homers, 7 RBIs. This would be a great spot for Dutch to get his first, wouldn't it?
Good time to hit one for that Zachary.
The newborn, the 8-pound baby boy. Dutch was saying before the game, as we checked the runners, that Wife Lynn and son Zachary will be in Philadelphia in just a little over a week. Here's a ground ball to first. It's a fair ball. Murray comes to the bag and makes the play, and that's a nice job by Hartley as he comes in to get 2 hitters. Thwarting the Phillies in the 5th. No runs, 1 hit, 2 left. We go to the bottom of the 5th, 8-5 LA.
Imports have had their day in the sun. But Buick is bringing America back. You saw it reported on TV. Buick LeSabre is the most trouble-free American car. You saw it in the J.D. Power Initial Quality Survey that ranked Buick the most trouble-free American brand. Now see it, drive it at your Buick dealer. The 1990 Buicks, the car that's bringing America back.
Buy a Subaru Legacy L Plus and save $686 on air conditioning, stereo cassette, and cruise control. Pretty good, huh? Not good enough. Save up to $1,000 more with factory-to-dealer cash. That's up to $1,686 off the Subaru Legacy. Now that's a deal.
Sunday.
Lisa, you look lovely. Bart, assume the position.
Meet Bart Simpson.
Were you going to listen to rock music in Sunday school? Maybe.
A chip off the old block.
It's good! It's good!
Catch the Simpsons at their Sunday best. Then Al needs a new car.
Just don't get another weenie mobile.
Meet the new Bundy Mobile.
Am I not fit to die?
Married with Children, following the Simpsons Sunday on Fox 29.
Scoring recap tonight, the Dodgers on the board first. Alfredo Griffin singled in 2 of the runs, and an error by shortstop Dickie Thon allowed the 3rd one to score unearned. Phillies came back and actually took a 5-3 lead in the 4th inning. For the Phillies, some big hits in that inning, one of which was Steve Lake's 2-out single, then Dennis Cook's 3-run home run, and an RBI single by Tommy Herr to complete the scoring there. But the Dodgers came storming right back. The key hit, of course, was the grand slam home run by Cal Daniels. That followed an RBI single by Stan Javier. So that's the way we stand, 8-5 Dodgers at this point.
Brooks, right field.
Dodger leadoff hitter in the 5th will be Hubie Brooks. Darren Dalton remains in to catch for the Phillies. Hubie takes a strike. Brooks has singled and flied out, scoring once. Phillies have been down by 3, up by 2 in this game. Brooks, Sharperson, and Dempsey in the 5th. Paid attendance tonight, 44,703, a crowd of 10,000 larger than last night. Dodger attendance is down over 100,000 from a year ago. 3-1. Pitch was really bearing in on Hubie. Full count. Don Carmen made 1 pitch after coming out of the bullpen, and that was the grand slam hit by Daniels. He's getting some cuts. They might not be strikes. Let's pause here for station identification. This is the Phillies Television Network.
WTXF, Fox 29 in Philadelphia.
Uh-oh. Did that hit him, or is that ball 4?
Either one. I don't think it hit him. I think he got his feet out of the way.
Either way, he's on base, like you say. That'll be a walk.
don't believe that hit him, did it?
Harvey made no sign whatsoever. No, it did not hit him.
Third base.
He got out of the way. So that's a walk. Fourth walk given up by Phil's pitching. Sharperson will be the hitter. 1 for 2, single and run. Phillies have out hit the Dodgers 9-6, but trail by the same margin. They just announced score that a hit batter. Did you hear that?
Well, they missed it.
Sharperson's batting .327. That's a base hit for him. Hit that ball right off the ground. Brooks stops at second, and the Dodgers have 2 on with nobody out. See whether Hubie was hit. They have announced.
He got both feet out of the way here.
Yeah, that does not hit him. No. However,
like Nick's making that slow walk, and I imagine he'll go to Marvin Freeman.
He has already pointed. Don Carmen gets credit for 1/3 of an inning. He leaves the game now as Freeman comes on to pitch for the Phillies for the second night in a row. Marvin pitched an inning and a third last night, gave up 1 hit, 1 run, but it was not earned. Pitching change for the Phillies. We're in the 5th. It's 8-5 LA. We'll be right back.
I like the feel of this year's club, the mix of veterans and young guys. We're having fun and working hard. I like that. I think we can surprise some people this year. I really do.
Don't miss a once-in-a-lifetime event, the Mike Schmidt Tribute, where his number is retired. You'll receive a free commemorative booklet courtesy of Hi-Fi House and Panasonic, Saturday, May 26, 7:05, when the Phillies play the Braves. For information, call 463-1000.
Push it, click it, press it, flick it, tune it in, turn it on. This is what you watch it on. Any way you work it, integrate your circuit at the city. Circuit City.
Come to the place you welcome. Technology with a heart. Welcome to Circuit City, where service is state of the art.
At Circuit City, we get higher customer satisfaction ratings than any other specialty home electronics and appliance chain.
Welcome to Circuit City, where service is state of the art.
It was Thursday. Coming home from the theater, it started.
At Meineke, we can't always tell what's wrong with a car by the sound of the customer. But we can tell a lot from our free undercar inspection. We check your exhaust system, shocks, brakes, and more at no charge. Then you'll know the price before any work begins.
It's so annoying.
So bring your car to Meineke. We'll give you a lift without taking you for a ride.
27-year-old right-hander Marvin Freeman in for the second night in a row. Freeman this year at Scranton Wilkes-Barre was 2-4, 5.09 ERA in 7 games. He struck out 33 and 35 in a third inning. He was in last night's game for an inning and a third. Gave up 1 hit, 1 run. It was not earned. He inherits 2 runners. There's nobody out in the inning. The Dodgers have an 8-5 lead. Freeman's in to face Rick Dempsey. Freeman, a big guy, 6'7", 200 pounds.
Dempsey. Catcher.
There they are, first and second. Brooks at second, Sharperson at first. Dempsey tonight has grounded out and walked, scoring once. Dodgers have action in their bullpen. Mike Maddox is up. They would gladly pinch hit for Hartley, and that could well happen because he is due to bat 2 batters from now. Here's the ex-Phil, Mike Maddox, who made this team as a non-roster player this spring. He didn't make the team out of spring training, but they sent him to Albuquerque, and he was called up about a week ago. Dempsey's around to bunt. Throw through to second. They've got a runner hung up. Play to third. He is out. Hubie Brooks tagged out at third base.
That's bad base running by Hubie. He knows it. That'll help Marvin Freeman's cause. Dalton saw him. Brooks took off for third, and an easy out.
2-6-5 on the play. First out of the inning. Sharperson left at first base. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hubie knows there's no place to hide. One and two on Dempsey. Things are looking a whole lot brighter in there than they were a little while ago. Freeman strikes him out on a foul tip. Out number 2 in the inning. Freeman's first strikeout. Next batter, Alfredo Griffin, 1 for 2. It was a 2-run single.
Alfredo Griffin, shortstop.
Griffin now will step up and bat left-handed. Griffin's a better hitter from the other side of the plate. Hitting .317 right-handed, but .269 left-handed. Griffin, who's been in a slumber lately, gets a hit here. Going to chase Sharperson over to third base. And let's see who the Dodgers send out. Almost surely they're going to pinch hit for Hartley here.
That pickoff play is big right now in this inning.
Tommy Lasorda is going to send out some pinch lumber here. It looks like Chris Wynn's going to come out.
Hartley, 15, Chris Wynn.
Jumped all over this fastball and drilled it right in the hole.
Tony's little brother Chris will come out and take a swing here. Wynn is batting .238. No homers, 3 RBIs. He has 4 pinch hits, 4 for 12. All 3 of his RBIs have come as a pinch hitter. He is the Dodgers' most frequently used pinch hitter. Chris is 25 years of age, from here in Los Angeles. At Albuquerque a year ago, he batted .326. He batted leadoff in a game against the Phillies for the first time ever in his career. That was in May of last year. He went 2 for 5 with a pair of doubles in that game. Dodgers are ahead 8-5. Bounces away from Dalton. No advance. I asked Chris one time if he ever worked with Tony on his hitting. He said, yeah, but not as much as I would like. His brother is one of the best hitters in baseball. That's a strike. He had one of the most memorable at-bats Tony did on this road trip. That smoke ground ball to Dickie Thon to end the game on Wednesday afternoon in San Diego. And the Padres had first and third, 1 out. They were down by a run. Second strike, 1 and 2. Chris was the Dodgers' first-round draft choice in June of '85. The ball gets loose. Dalton calmly picks it up and throws him out. A couple of strikeouts for Freeman in the inning. 2-3 on the putout. So for the Dodgers in the 5th inning, they fail to score. 2 hits in the inning. And 2 men left on base. 8-5 Dodgers after 5.
There are those who thirst for something different. An escape from the ordinary. For them, there is a beer that refreshes like no other. Michelob Dry. Once you've experienced its bold taste with no aftertaste, there's no going back.
The unintelligent way.
Bruce, I need this claim done now.
Well, here's the policy data. The photos are in here, and the rest comes from the local office.
Thanks a lot.
The intelligent way.
Bruce, I need this claim done now.
Well, here's the policy data. Photos are in here, and the rest comes from the local office.
Thanks a lot.
For image processing and systems and network integration, call Bell Atlantic.
Lots of motor oils claim to be top. Quaker State puts it in writing.
Ask your participating service center about Quaker State's top lubrication guarantee.
Only a tough motor oil can make a guarantee this tough. Quaker State is one tough motor oil.
Car making noises? You need Meineke's free under-car inspection. So bring your car to Meineke. We'll give you a lift without taking you for a ride.
You see Parrots throwing in the bullpen because the Phillies are going to pinch hit for Marvin Freeman here, trailing 8-5. And Kurt Ford has come out to the on-deck circle. He will face Mike Maddox just into the game for Los Angeles. First time that Mike has ever pitched against the Phillies. Maddox has been in only 2 games. No wins or losses, a 3.60 earned run average. In 5 innings, he has given up 4 hits and 2 runs. Maddox, 28 years of age. Mike was 1-3 for the Phillies last year. He's 10-13 lifetime in the big leagues. Ford to bat now for Freeman. Ford batting 154. As a pinch hitter, 2 for 12. All of Kurt's at-bats have been as a pinch hitter, save 1. He's 2 for 13 for the year. Pretty good sinker by Maddox.
That's his circle change that he picked up while he was with the Phillies.
Little tapper on the right side. Samuel charges. Gets Ford. 1 out. Samuel working on his second base play before the game with ex-Dodger coach Monty Basco. Dykstra's next. Lenny 1 for 3 tonight. Picked up a stolen base. Scored one of the Phillies' 5 runs, all of which came in the 4th inning. And at that point, the Phillies led 5-3. Dykstra hitting at .392. When he needed 17 passes for the game tonight. He was born in Santa Ana, California, just down Route 5. Ball and a strike. think back and recall that Lenny missed the first 5 games of the year. Mets are leading the Padres 6-2 in the 8th. The only other National League game still going. Strike 2, 1-2. Asking Doug where it was. Cubs beat the Astros 4-1. Two balls, 2 strikes on Dykstra. Maddox released by the Phillies, hooked on with the Dodgers, got a spring training invite from them. Last year he threw a 5-inning shutout for the Phillies. Game was rained out after 5, but he got credit for a complete game shutout, a 2-hitter against the Reds.
He had one little streak of pitching for the Phillies for about a month. Pitching out of the bullpen, and I mean, you can't pitch any better than that. And then he came up with a sore arm and just never was the same after that.
It'll be interesting to see if the Dodgers win this game, who the scorekeeper gives the win to. Hartley came in and got 2 hitters in a key spot when the Phillies had a couple of runners on, but he only pitched 2/3 of an inning. You know, Maddox is not going to be around there that long. I wouldn't be surprised to see Jay Howell in this game before it's all over. He did such a great job last night. You have to remember that Howell was hurt, but it wasn't an arm problem. He had arthroscopic surgery on his knee, so his arm should be fine. Should be able to use him back-to-back games. It's a full count now on Dykstra. Hits for the hole, and he got a base hit. Lenny's been going the other way so much. That's really helped him out. Second hit of the game for Dykstra.
That's really about the only place you could hit that pitch he just hit. It was down and away, and
Second baseman, Tommy.
used that hole on the left side. Try to pull that ball. It's an easy ground ball usually to the second baseman.
Hit number 10 for the Phillies, but they're down 8-5. Tommy Herr has 2 of them. He has driven in 1 of the runs. He did not offer. That's a ball. Tom's average was dipping, but 2 for 3 tonight has him back to 283. Was a kid following baseball, Whitey, it seemed like there was a big psychological difference between hitting 270 and hitting 280. I mean, of course, everyone wanted to hit 300, but that difference between the 70s and the 80s seemed to separate the good hitters.
Well, there is a difference, and it is mental largely. Like hitting 299 or 300, you seem like you're a better hitter just 1 point apart.
And Tommy Herr's got his 3rd hit of the game. You know, Tommy came in 1 for 20, so you knew the hits were going to fall because, as you mentioned last night, even though he had been slumping, he wasn't hitting that bad.
I think he was more in a mental slump than a physical slump because he had been swinging the bat pretty well.
Right fielder.
His timing was all right. Hit a good pitch there that was down. Went the other way.
And look which side has the tying run at the plate right now. 2 on, 1 out. Von Hayes the batter. Let's try the reverse black cat on you here. Hayes, this is the one ballpark in the National League where Hayes has never hit a home run.
He's hit a couple balls tonight pretty well, too. Pretty deep, but not deep enough. A warning track.
Right. 2 of the 3 of them were caught by the center fielder, 1 out in right field by Brooks. Phillies are down 8-5. Tim Cruz is now throwing for the Dodgers. Low again, 2-0. Hayes will pick his pitch. Leads the Phillies with 20 runs batted in.
He should get a pitch to hit here.
Low again, ball 3. Tommy's squirming a little bit. Next time he got in that cup anyway, huh?
Key.
It's a Dodger cup, of course. Think he drinks the same thing that Johnny Carson drinks?
I hope not.
3-0. Strike. Well, Lasorda's got a longer contract than Carson. I see where Johnny just re-upped for 1 year. Tommy became the first Dodger manager in a long, long time to get a multi-year contract. Walked him and the bases are loaded. Ricky Jordan gets a shot here with the bases loaded, 1 out. Only the second Philly to draw a walk tonight. '25th walk for Von Hayes among the league leaders. Well, Ricky Jordan 1 for 3, and Dempsey is out there delivering a little lecture to Mike Maddox.
A little stall here. Karnowski was on that phone again, and I'm not so sure Lasorda is going to wait too much longer.
Ricky singled and scored in the 5-run Phillies 4th. Tommy's really squirming. Whatever's in that cup isn't strong enough.
Maddox is missing with his breaking pitch now. His changeup and his slider. Everything has been down.
Foul. 1-1. Phillies with the tying runs on base. Ricky Jordan represents a go-ahead run. It's 8-5 Dodgers.
Chased the bad pitch. Low and away. That slider.
That one's too bad. 2-2. And yet another visit to the hill by Rick Dempsey. Maybe he should be a pitcher.
Well, this is a pretty important pitch in this ball game. This at bat for Jordan is crucial.
Back through the middle, but there is Samuel. 1 run scores. It is now an 8-6 game. Fielder's choice and an RBI for Jordan is 19th.
Well, it looked like a double play ball, but could almost call Hayes out for going out of the baseline to get the. You get a bodies length, and that's what he has, because it's a long length, but Hayes is a long player.
Phillies are going to bring out John Kruk now to bat for Randy Reddy. Kruk will come up and pinch hit. Phillies have tightened it up. They're within 2 runs. John Kruk hitting at .278. 2 homers, 18 runs batted in. Kruk does not have a pinch hit this year, and he has no official pinch hitting at bats. Phillies at first and third, now 2 out as Kruk bats for Reddy. Tommy Hurd over at third base. That's Jordan at first. Out in the left field, coming on Daniels, makes the play. Kruk is out and the inning comes to a close. The Phillies get 1 of them back here in the inning. 2 hits, 2 left. Go to the last of the 6th. Dodgers ahead of the Phillies 8-6.
This is a copycat, and so is this. Because Ford Taurus was first with its unique aero design. Not the Honda Accord. But the 4-cylinder Accord has yet to copy the Ford's powerful V6 engine, or an interior that seats 6, or a driver's side airbag as standard equipment. For quality, price, and value, you can't beat the originals, the Ford Taurus and Taurus wagon. What will they copy next?
7-9 financing or $900 direct from Ford on Taurus at your Quality Plus Ford dealer.
I like my doctor because she's really nice. And one time I was at the shoe store and I fell on top of these shoes and I needed to go to the doctor's to get stitches. It only hurt a little bit. The doctor took care of me.
Fairy tales can come true. It can happen to you if you're young and hard. For it's hard you will find to be narrow of mind if you're young and hard.
Canada Dry Ginger Ale. Always light, always dry, always young at heart.
Here is the best part. You'll have a head start if you are among the very young at heart, yeah.
John Kruk remains in the game. He'll play in left field for the Phillies. Jeff Parrott takes over on the mound now for the Phillies. Parrott's been a disappointment for the Phillies. He hasn't gotten on track yet. He's appearing in his 20th game tonight. Jeff is 1-2, 1 save and a high earned run average, and he's really had a rocky time of it here lately.
Second baseman, Juan Samuel.
Dodgers lead at 8-6. She's got great hair, doesn't she? Love it.
Cute little girl.
Yeah.
And war paint.
Juan Samuel leads it off for the Dodgers, who are ahead 8-6. Juan is 0 for 2 with a walk. That makes him 0 for his last 15. He was on base when the single biggest blow of the night was struck. Cal Daniels' home run, grand slam. He swung. Didn't want to.
Just keep throwing him that pitch. Breaking ball low and away, and that's the pitch that has kept him from being a great ball player. Low and away out of the strike zone.
Samuel became the first player in Major League history to reach double figures in doubles, triples, homers, and stolen bases in his first 4 years in the big league. 2-2. Sammy. Parrott starts with a strikeout.
He laid off one of those couple of pitches ahead of that, but he can't seem to lay off the second one or even the third one sometimes. Just can't hit that pitch. Nobody can.
That's the first out of the Dodgers' sixth. Stan Javier at a bat. He is 1 for 3, an RBI single. That preceded Cal Daniels' grand slam. Javier picking up his first National League run batted in. Harvey examines the baseball and gives it back to Parrott. 8-6 Dodgers in the sixth. I guess after you deliver a pitch like that, you got to kick at the dirt. Something's got to be wrong.
Jeff's had a lot of problems with his control.
The ball's behind him 3-0. Jeff's a very important cog for the Phillies. That setup role. I mean, everybody knows last year as he walks Javier how important it was for him, and the Phillies either have to get him straightened out or find somebody else to do that role, because as they say, it's very, very important for a team that's winning. You need a setup man.
Have somebody that can hold him in that 6th, 7th inning.
Well, this guy should get a great hand. Cal Daniels. They don't seem too stirred up, do they? Cal with his first Major League grand slam in his last at bat. Cal is hitting .302 for the year. He now has 21 runs batted in to tie Hubie Brooks for the club lead. Time called. Darrell Knowles is being dispatched to the hill to talk with Jeff Parrott. Darrell's probably trying to figure out a different way to say what he's already said about a dozen times.
Jeff started slowly last year and then really came on and did a good job. And he started slowly this year, but he hasn't turned it around yet.
Parrott was hurt last year for a little while and spent some time on the disabled list and was a little rocky right after his return, but then until his arm got tired very late in the year, had a sensational season. Javier is safe. 1 ball, 1 strike to count on Cal Daniels.
Got Daniels to chase that off-speed low pitch.
Parrott is pitcher number 4, sent into the game by Nick Leyva. Cook, Carmen, Freeman, now Parrott. There he goes. Drop. Stolen base for Javier, his first in the National League. He had stolen 32 of the last 36 attempts in the American League.
Dalton had a pretty good jump by Javier. Dalton had a bad pitch to handle. It was in the dirt, and he couldn't handle it cleanly, so he didn't have any chance.
Takes away the double play possibility. Now it's 2-2 on Cal. Daniels out of the Reds farm system. They developed quite a few outfielders all at the same time. Paul O'Neill was another in that batch. So is Scott Terry, who later became a pitcher. High fly ball. This one's going to get caught, though. Dykstra makes the catch. Javier has gone to third. He will get there. 2 out.
First baseman, Eddie Murray.
Now the hitter is Eddie Murray, 0 for 2 with a walk. Phillies baseball is brought to you in part by the Pennsylvania Lottery. Lottery proceeds benefit older Pennsylvanians. And by Meineke. It's smart to come to Meineke for all your exhaust and brake needs. This would be a crushing run to give up right here. There is a runner at third base, 2 outs, and the Phillies are still down by 2. They got one back to make it 8-6. They don't want to give up this run. Murray sends a ground ball to her. That'll do it. Third out of the inning and no harm done. Dodgers in the 6th, no runs, no hits, and 1 left. So we move to the 7th with the Dodgers leading the Phillies 8-6.
How do you get real premium beer taste in a non-alcoholic brew? You start with a real premium beer. That's how Anheuser-Busch makes new O'Doul's. O'Doul's is carefully brewed, fully fermented, and cold-aged. Then the alcohol is naturally removed, retaining all the great taste. So how do you get real premium beer taste in a non-alcoholic brew? Ask for an ice-cold O'Doul's. O'Doul's, the taste will win you over.
To get rid of her gray, my wife can spend 40 minutes. But I discovered the 5-minute hair coloring.
The revolutionary discovery called Just for Men from the leader in men's hair coloring. Simply apply Just for Men and in 5 minutes shampoo out.
Gray is blended away. The look of my natural color is back in 5 minutes. That was me, and it won't fade or wash out.
My hair takes forever, but you look great in just 5 minutes.
The look of your natural color in just 5 minutes with Just for Men.
I have a good feeling about this year's ball club. We know each other a little better. We know Nick a little better. And he knows us better. Hey, I'm not saying we're going to win the whole thing, but I do believe we'll give you your money's worth. I really believe that.
Get a free oversized beach towel with pictures of 3 Phillies players for children 14 and under, courtesy of MAB when the Phillies play the Atlanta Braves. 1:35 Sunday, May 27th. Call 463-1000 for ticket information.
A wild ball game going on here. Dodgers lead 8-6. We're in the 7th inning, and Harry Callis is back with us. Harry?
All right, thanks, Rich. And leading off for the Phils, Charlie Hayes. He's 2 for 3, is grounded out, singled and doubled. Facing Mike Maddox. One and nothing to Hayes. He'll be followed by Dickie Thon and then Darren Dalton. Darryl Ackerfelds is up in the Phillies bullpen. If we get down to Jeff Parrott's spot, see a pinch hitter for him. Two and nothing to Charlie Hayes. 3-0. So Hayes will look at one, maybe two. Takes a strike, 3-1. Just over the Phillies dugout. That guy got the souvenir, but he also will have a bruised arm as a result of the souvenir. Still 3-2 to Charlie Hayes. Charlie gets a leadoff walk, the second walk given up by Maddox.
Shortstop, Dickie on.
Tommy Lasorda doffing his cap to Doug Harvey. They were complaining about that pitch. Ron Peranowski telling Tommy that the man they have up in the bullpen is ready in the event that he wants to make a change. He'll leave Maddox in here to pitch to Dickie Thon, who is 1 out of 3 with a double. Tim Cruz is up in the Dodger bullpen. One strike to Dickie Thon. Big lead at first base. Line drive to left field, caught by Daniels. Thon is out, 1 down. It'll bring on Darren Dalton. Dalton has grounded out in his only at bat as a pinch hitter and stayed in the game. Changeup by Mike Maddox.
Just won't throw a ball over the middle of the plate. He'll try to make perfect pitches.
Turn one. Out of play. 2-2 to count to Darren Dalton. Mets have won their first out on the West Coast, beating San Diego tonight 6-4. Full count.
Key pitch for Mike Maddox. If he loses Dalton, he's probably out of there.
Reached out for a ball and lost it in the air to left center. Probably was ball 4. It's caught by Javier for out number 2.
Down around the ankles. See Dutch go way down. That ball might have bounced up there if you let it go.
Your attention, please. For the Phillies, batting, Aaron.
Dave Hollins will come out as a pinch hitter.
David Hollins.
Hollins batting for Jeff Parrott. Harold Ackerfelds will be the Phillies' new pitcher in the bottom half of this inning. Hollins hitting .211. As a pinch hitter, he is nothing out of 4. Switch hitter will bat left against Maddox.
Talk over their scouting report on Hollins.
Charlie Hayes at first base with 2 outs here in the 7th. Dirt 1-0. Ball over at the knees, 1-1. Missing 2-1. Inside corner, 2-2 to pinch hitter Dave Hollins. Got him with a changeup. He struck him out. Well, that retires the Phils in the 7th. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left. We go to the bottom half of the 7th, stretch time at Dodger Stadium. Los Angeles leading the Phils by a score of 8-6.
Chevrolet introduces the bigger-than-ever 4-door Chevy S10 Blazer. Now America's best-loved sport utility vehicle gives you 25% more cargo room and 100% more doors. The bigger-than-ever, better-than-ever 1991 4-door S10 Blazer. Open one up and see why nobody's winning life.
Heartbeat of America. Chevrolet. Today's truck is Chevrolet.
Oh, boy. When you own a business like this, one day it's built on a young boy's dream. And the next day, you're rushing to meet a team's deadline. Or giving customers the very best value for their money. You need a bank that can share a dream and meet a deadline. You want a bank who knows your business almost as well as you do. And we hear you.
We're First Pennsylvania, and we hear
could take an instant vacation courtesy of Rosenbluth Travel and Guest Quarters when the Phillies play the Mets Friday, June 1st at 7:35. Pack your bags, cross your fingers, and come to the vet. For information, call 463-1000.
New pitcher is Darryl Ackerfeld, and he's done an excellent job of pitching. Hasn't given up an earned run yet. And he's the 5th Phillies pitcher in this ball game.
Ackerfeld's appearing in his 14th game. 12 2/3 innings, 4 hits, no runs, 5 strikeouts, 8 walks. Jeff Parrott going 1 inning. No runs, no hits, 1 strikeout, 1 walk. Gibby Brooks, the first one to face Ackerfeld here in the bottom of the 7th. Dodgers are leading 8-7. 8-6, excuse me. Our trivia question tonight brought to you by Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield. For over 50 years, managing health with care.
Well,
I've got to figure out this question here. What pitcher who is in the Hall of Fame has the fewest wins of any pitcher in the Hall of Fame? And what position player has the fewest hits of any player in the Hall of Fame? Pitcher in the Hall of Fame with the fewest wins, the hitter in the Hall of Fame with the fewest hits.
I guess you wouldn't tell me the number.
The pitcher wins would be 143. Position player hits would be 1,161.
Tell you get in the Hall of Fame with 1,161 hits? Huh?
Yes.
Is that the reason he's in the Hall of Fame? Because he was a hitter? Great play by Dickey.
Sharply hit ball by Brooks. That's 1 down.
Mike Sharperson.
Well, there were extenuating circumstances that shortened this man's career.
For Sharperson.
Fine defensive player.
Lenny Harris.
Lenny Harris will come out and pinch hit for Sharperson. Sharperson went 2 for 3. Harris hitting 264 as a pinch hitter. He's nothing out of 6. One strike. Dodgers lead 8-6. We're in the bottom of the 7th. Listen with a knuckle curve. 1-1. Good on to Lenny Harris. Ball on the ground that Dickey found. Harris is retired. That's 2 down, and that'll bring on Rick Dempsey. Dempsey's grounded out, walked, and scored a run, and he has struck out.
Rick Dempsey.
Two outs and no base runners here in the bottom of the 7th. The knuckle curve over, 1 strike. Dennis Cook hit a 3-run homer for the Phils, but the Phils starting pitcher could not get out of the court. Daniels hit a grand slam home run for the Dodgers. Coming on the first pitch thrown by Don Carmen in the bullpen in relief of Dennis Cook. One and 2 to Dempsey. Two. Dempsey's called out on strikes, so another good inning for Ackerfeld. A 1-2-3 inning, no runs, hits or errors, and none left. We move to the 8th at Dodger Stadium. Los Angeles leads the Phils by a score of 8-6.
Isn't easy. Getting a long-distance call through on AT&T is, even from non-AT&T public phones. Just dial 10-ATT-0 and the phone number. AT&T. 10-ATT-0. Just to make getting through your day a little easier. AT&T. How can we help you?
Get out.
What was that?
Get out.
I'll get the kids.
Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out.
What the? Get up. Dad, Mom's making leftovers.
Now get Roy's Big Bacon Cheeseburger or a 2-piece chicken meal, just $1.99. So why stay home when you can?
Get out.
Meet Dennis Coleman. Fishing. I usually pick up the guys around 5 a.m. You can do better. We could leave at 4. I meant you could trade your Jeep Cherokee on a new 4-door Chevy Blazer. For about the same payment, you get a bigger standard engine and more towing ability. This one won't get away. You can do better, too, at your 5-star Chevy Geo dealer.
Harris will stay in the game and play third base for the Dodgers. Mike Scioscia coming in to catch. He'll bat in the 9th spot. And the new pitcher is Tim Cruz. Cruz will bat in the spot vacated by Rick Dempsey, the number 7 spot. Cruz appearing in his 14th game. No wins, no losses. He does have 2 saves, a 3.97 ERA. Has worked 22 2/3 innings, given up 27 hits, 10 earned runs, 22 strikeouts, 10 walks. Has a good fork ball. Let's pause for station identification on the Phillies television network.
WTXF, Fox 29 in Philadelphia.
Lenny Dykstra will lead off for the Phils. He's 2 out of 4, has scored 2 runs. Lenny among the league leaders in runs scored. He's crossed the plate 28 times now. Leads the league at on-base percentage. Leads the majors in hitting and takes a strike. Our trivia question brought to you by Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield for over 50 years, managing health with care. What pitcher is in the Hall of Fame with the fewest wins by a pitcher, and what position player has the fewest hits? That one really hit Lenny. 1-1.
Those feet out of the way of that pitch. Like he was thinking about bunting, and all of a sudden he had to skip a little rope here. Didn't lose that chew, though.
Now, 1-1 to Nails Dykstra. Pitch is right there. It's 1-2. Two and two.
Guess you're waiting, huh?
Yeah, I'm waiting for your answer to this trivia question.
Dizzy Dean.
Dizzy Dean is an excellent guest with a pitcher. Incorrect, though. He had 150 wins, and this Hall of Fame pitcher had 143. It's still 2 and 2.
That hitter had to be one of those Tinkers to Evers the Chance people.
No, he's a good buddy of yours, and we see him at Dodger Stadium every now and again.
Good buddy of mine.
Mm-hmm. Always ask about you every time I see him here at Dodger Stadium.
Has 1,100 hits.
Yep.
Campy?
Yep.
Your kid.
Roy Campanella is correct.
Well, that was a trick question. Most of his career was in the old Negro leagues.
Yeah.
And then, of course, he got in the auto accident when he was about 35 or 36.
Right. How about the pitcher?
Must be for the same reason, huh?
No, he pitched a lot of years and a lot of games, but he was a relief pitcher. Johnny Dykstra is retired on a ground ball.
White Wilhelm?
You got it. White, 143 wins. Here's Tom Hurry's 3 out of 4. Dodgers lead 8-6. Phillies about hit the Dodgers 11-8.
A lot of people are surprised that Dizzy Dean only won 153 or whatever it was. But he got hurt. Actually broke his toe. It was an initial injury. Got hit by a line drive and then pitched. Came back to pitch before the toe was healed and hurt his shoulder. Changing his delivery.
Great Sandy Koufax in the Hall of Fame. He didn't win all that many either. 165.
Yeah. He dominated pitching for 6 years in the major leagues.
Just foul. 52nd anniversary wishes tonight to Charlie and Catherine Brennicky in Newtown Square. Actually, it would have been yesterday. Because they're still up watching this game. 8-6. Phillies trail by 2. The 1-2 to Tom Hurd. base hit. Tom Herr's 4th hit of the night. He is a 1-out base runner, and the batter will be Von Hayes.
He had a tough pitch there, too. It was a ball. It was down, and it was away. Took it almost off. Took it about ankle high.
So Herr at first base with 1 out for Von Hayes, who's 0 for 3 with a walk. Hit the ball hard as line to center, fly to deep right center, fly to deep right. 1-0. Don Ossie's starting to throw in the Dodger bullpen. It's low, 2-0. Associate trotting out to talk to Cruz. Her at first with 1 out. Base hit to right field. Tom Herr took the big turn, and now he'll hold. And Von Hayes singled, so the Phillies have 2 men on base, 2 outs for Ricky Jordan. At Veterans Stadium, Jordan, 2 men on base, 1 out, excuse me. At Veterans Stadium, Jordan hit a grand slam home run off Cruz. And Perinoski is coming out to talk to his pitcher.
This had been a 1-run game or a tie game, I believe Tommy Herr would have gambled on going to third on that base hit by Von Hayes.
Jordan.
He just didn't want to risk getting thrown out. And we're down by 2 runs.
Season ticket holder Jerry Goldberg. In Philadelphia here tonight, he's recovering from a heart transplant. Adams Sinai Hospital of Los Angeles 10 weeks ago. Here at the ball game. Jordan fooled by a breaking ball. Ricky is 1 out of 4. Fisted into shallow center. That's going to drop for a hit. Tom Herr had to hold up. And the Phillies now have the bases loaded, 1 out for John Kruk.
Phillies' 14th hit in this game. He really got jammed. He hit it about on the trademark. Nobody could field it. The Phillies have a tying run at second, a go-ahead run at first.
1 out here in the 8th inning. Kruk came in as a pinch hitter, lined out to left, stayed in the game. And Cruz will stay in there. Hard ground base hit, right field is going to tie the game. Herr scores, Hayes scores. Jordan to third, and this ball game is tied at 8-8 in the 8th. A 2-run single for the Crucker.
That'll bring Perinoski out again.
This will be it for Cruz.
This game is has been unbelievable.
He is.
There hasn't been a pitcher walk out on that mound tonight that has given a manager any comfort except Ackerfeld.
Correct.
He pitched one strong inning.
Baranowski will call on Don Ossie. John Wetterland will get up in the bullpen. Pitching change for the Dodgers. We have a wild one at Dodger Stadium. We're in the 8th. We are tied 8-8. We'll be back after these messages.
Push it, click it, press it, flick it, tune it in, turn it on. This is what you watch it on. Any way you work it, integrate your circuit at the city. Circuit City.
Come to the place you welcome. Technology with a heart. Welcome to Circuit City, where service is state of the art.
At Circuit City, we get higher customer satisfaction ratings than any other specialty home electronics and appliance chain.
Welcome to Circuit City, where service is state of the art.
My name's John Crook. I'm a man of few words. Very few.
They're bright, they're cool, they're neon green sunglasses, free for all children 14 and under, and they're compliments of Breyers. Sunday, June 3rd, 1:35, when the Phillies take on the New York Mets. For information, call 463-1000.
Bad news, Pizza Hut Pepperoni. Prepare to get picked on even more.
Why is everybody always picking on me?
Why? Because now you can get a Pepperoni Lover's Pizza at a very pickable price. Get one for just $8.99, or two for a paltry $4 more. With two prolific filings of pepperoni packed between two extra heaping portions of cheese and a particularly low price, who can resist picking?
Why is everybody always picking on me?
You know why.
Making it great.
Veteran right-hander Don Ossie is the new pitcher for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Ossie appearing in his 13th game, 1-1, lost 1, 2 saves. His ERA is 3.21. And Charlie Hayes will be the first one to face Ossie. Three runners at first and third with one out. Tie game at 8. That might be a double play ball. And is. Charlie Hayes grounds into a 4-3 double play. One pitch thrown by Ossie, and he gets out of the inning. The Phillies tie the game with 2 in the inning. 4 hits. No Dodger errors, 1 left. We go to the bottom half of the 8th. It's Phil's 8, Los Angeles 8.
44,000.
Nobody tells me what to do with my body. I take responsibility for myself. I don't want anybody telling me what doctor to go do. I make my own choices. It may sound crazy. That's just the way I am.
Who knows what lurks in the heart of Dodge? The Shadow knows. 45 standard features, more power, a driver's side airbag, price to put Nissan Sentra on ice. Yes. The Shadow knows.
Shadow, with 1,000 cash back or 0% financing.
An intake valve can show gasolines are different. A BMW test was run on each of the 6 leading national gasolines. In 5 of those tests, deposits on dirty intake valves got worse. But one gasoline actually removed deposits. Texaco System 3. And it's in all octane grades, not just premium.
Now available in 93 octane.
And you thought all gasolines were the same.
Phillies will be back from this trip on Thursday against the Atlanta Braves, a 4-game series with the Braves. Thursday, May 24th through Sunday, May 27th. Saturday, the 26th, Mike Schmidt tribute night. Sunday, beach towel day. Then San Diego comes in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the 28th, 29th, and 30th of May. Followed by the New York Mets. Our first look at the Mets, June 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Instant vacation night, June 1st, and neon sunglasses day, June 3rd. Alfredo Griffin gets his 3rd hit of the night. Single back up the middle. Griffin is 3 out of 4. And Mike Scioscia will be the batter. Scioscia batting for the first time is hitting .270.
Catcher, Mike Scioscia.
Mike with 5 homers. He's knocked in 14. Scioscia off to a good start with a long ball. 10 home runs all of last year.
Usually he would be up there to bunt, but this has been a strange game.
He was around the bunt, takes it inside for a ball, 1-0.
If he blocked Dalton and or Scioscia, blocked the plate umpire on that call. That ball was right over the plate.
Runner breaking on a hit and run. Tom Hurd did not get the bag. He drops the ball. Going to third base is Griffin. Scioscia back to first. And the Dodgers have runners at first and third, and Ricky Jordan spiked.
Griffin is hurt, I believe. Griffin went into that slide at third, and he couldn't get up for a while. He's up now, and Jordan really got spiked with Scioscia coming back to the bag. Now he sees the ball get away. He goes in head first, and he just kind of bounced him there.
Hurd in his haste to try to get 2 got none. Here it is. Hurd's trying desperately to get 2. Now he's not going to get Griffin, then he loses the ball.
Griffin then hits the ball, kicks it.
1, Samuel.
Ricky Jordan evidently is okay. He got his knee banged up by Scioscia going back to first. But now the Dodgers have runners at first and third and nobody out for Juan Samuel, who's 0 for 3 with a walk.
Infield is up. Oh.
Wild pitch. Here comes Griffin in to score. Scioscia's going to go all the way around to third.
He'll have to go back to second, I believe. The ball went up over the dugout there. Oh, this fell apart in a hurry, didn't it?
Phillies battle back to tie this game, only to see
that ball in the dirt, and Dalton just couldn't stop it.
So the Dodgers have regained the lead at 9-8 here in the bottom of the 8th. To Samuel. First run given up by Ackerfelds this year.
Morrow was up there to bunt on that last pitch, and I think he missed the sign. I don't think he'll be bunting here.
He was around to bunt. Snap throw to second, so she gets back. Hasn't been a real pretty game for either manager. There goes Socia. Sandwell gets a nice bunt down. He's just thrown out at first base on a close play. Socia had such a big jump, he had that base stolen. It will be a sacrifice.
Tom Morrow has laid down 2 excellent bunts in this series. Good play by Ackerfeld.
Phillies will bring the infield in with a runner at third base, Socia, and 1 out now. Stan Javier, the batter, he's 1 out of 3. And he's talking things over with Joey Amalfitano. Missing for a ball, 1-0. Looking for a squeeze bunt. Not there, 2-0. Pulls it deep, but foul, right field side. 2-1 to Javier. A wild game here at Dodger Stadium. Los Angeles leading 9-8. We're in the bottom of the 8th. Cal Daniels due up next. Dodger runners first and third. And 1 out for Cal Daniels.
Daniel.
Here comes Nick Leyland. I think he's going to bring in Terry Mulholland from the bullpen. Make a double switch. Charlie Hayes will come out, and Rod Booker will come in to play third. So we have a pitching change for the Phillies. We are in the 8th inning. Dodgers lead 9-8. Back after these messages.
This year I have a new outlook and a lot of confidence. And we have a ball club with a new attitude. I may not win every time I go out, but you can believe I'll give 100% every time they give me the ball. And we have a lot of guys who feel the same way. Come see.
You could take an instant vacation courtesy of Rosenbluth Travel and Guest Quarters when the Phillies play the Mets Friday, June 1st at 7:35. Pack your bags, cross your fingers, and come to the vet. For information, call 463-1000.
So we put in this new central air, and our bills are really...
Down?
Exactly.
Must be a Lennox.
Get up to a $500 savings bond when you purchase selected Lennox heating and cooling equipment.
Nobody gives you more for your money than Atmos Temp and Lennox. Quality and value. That's the Atmos Temp advantage. Since 1955, Harris Fuels has been serving the Bucks County area with quality, pride, and commitment. Call them today.
Attaboy, Dave.
Capri Sun fruit drinks. Fruity, cool, adventurous.
Rod Booker coming into play third base for the Phils. He'll bat number 9, and Terry Mulholland is the new pitcher. Mulholland will bat on the number 6 spot, vacated by Charlie Hayes. Mulholland is appearing in his 8th game, just his 2nd outing out of the bullpen. The rest have been starts. He's won 2, lost 1. His ERA is 3.82. He'll be on here to face Cal Daniels. The Dodger runners first and third, 1 out in the 8th inning. And Los Angeles leading by a score of 9-8. Daniels has had 1 hit and 4 at bats. It was a big one, a grand slam home run in the 4th inning. Socia at third. Stan Javier at first. Missing with a breaking ball, 1-0. Pokes a base hit to left field. Socia will score. Stopping at second base is Javier. And the Dodgers now lead at 10-8. Cal Daniels has driven in 5 runs tonight.
And he'll leave the ball game for a pinch runner. Gonzalez.
Jose Gonzalez coming in to run for Daniels.
Your attention, please. The Dodgers running for Daniels for 38.
Eddie Murray will be the batter.
Gonzalez.
The fastball out away from him.
Murray is nothing for 3 tonight with a walk. 2 men on base, 1 out, 2 runs across. On the ground to Dickie Thom. That'll be a double play, and that will retire the side. But the Dodgers take the lead. 2 runs in the inning. 2 hits. 1 Philly error. And 1 man left. We go to the 9th inning. It's Los Angeles 10 and the Phils 8.
Delivering pizzas is hard. New Busch Light is easy because it's cold filtered to make it the easiest drinking light beer around. So after a hard day, remember New Busch Light is easy, and that makes it a very easy choice. Let's recap. Getting your wisdom teeth pulled is hard. New Busch Light is easy because it's cold filtered to make it very easy drinking. New Busch Light is easy. Avoiding a cover charge is hard. So make the easy choice.
Now, do you find this exciting?
After months of exhausting research, yes, the Pennsylvania Lottery makes instant games even more exciting.
Now look closely.
First, we reinvented the wheel. New $1 Million spin gives more people more cash prizes. Then we invented new games like Double Play with 2 chances to win on every ticket. And prizes can double up to $5,000 instantly. So now, Pennsylvania Lottery instant games give you more spin, more win, more for your dollar.
Interesting.
I didn't know who to trust.
Hey, there are a lot of muffler places.
Especially with a foreign car.
But Midas has the right muffler for almost every foreign car in stock.
Yeah, I worried I'd need an appointment.
People don't need an appointment here.
And who guarantees foreign mufflers?
And Midas guarantees foreign mufflers.
Tell you one thing, I didn't want to end up someplace second rate.
Nobody beats Midas.
So I went to number 1.
Nobody.
Mention this commercial at Midas and get $10 off foreign car care service.
Jose Gonzalez will stay in the game to play left field, and Dickie Thon will lead off for the Phillies here in the ninth. Dodgers lead 10-8. Thon is 1 for 4 with a double. Facing Don Ossie, who came in the 8th inning and threw 1 pitch and got a double play ground ball. 1-0 to Thon. He'll be followed by Darren Dalton and then Rod Booker. 2-0.
Don't go away.
Two and 1 to Thon. A single to center field. So he is a leadoff base runner. That'll bring up Darren Dalton. Dalton is grounded out, flied out to center.
Darren Dalton.
Right-hander John Wetteland is up in the Dodger bullpen. Just off the disabled list. Tom Lasorda does not want to use Jay Howell 2 nights in a row. Pitched 2 innings last night. Dalton offered it to pitch, 1 strike. Shallow right. Ruby Brooks makes the play. That's 1 down, and that'll bring on Rod Booker. Booker will be batting for the first time. He's hitting at .211.
Rod Booker.
One out with Dickie Thon at first base. Phillies have 16 hits in this game, but are trailing 10-8. Phillies is stranded 10. Still need a runner, at least 1 runner in every inning. To Rod Booker. That's hit number 17 for the Phils in the game. 2 men on base with 1 out for Lenny Dykstra.
Lasorda has had the lead in this game 3 times now.
Center fielder.
4 times.
Glenn Dykstra.
Bill Russell, who positions the fielders with a headset on from the eye in the sky. Joe Ferguson. Nick Leyva. Lenny Dykstra is 2 out of 5. One strike to Dykstra.
He'd like to have that pitch back. A little slider that was up and over the middle of the plate.
Dodgers lead 10-8. We're in the 9th inning. This with a backdoor breaking ball. It's 1-1. That's low. 2-1. Been some game. Phillies still with a shot here in the 9th.
Ozzie wanted that pitch. He thought it was inside corner.
A wide one would load the bases.
There it is.
It's inside. Tom Herr waiting on deck. Keeps the foul back to full count.
And he had a good pitch to hit there. The 3-1 fastball, like inside half of the plate. Kind of an important pitch in this game.
Yes, it is. Full count to Dykstra. Down at second, Booker at first, 1 out. The bases. That will load him up with bills with 1 out in the 9th inning for Tom Herr, who has 4 hits tonight. He's 4 out of 5.
Number 28, second baseman, Tom Herr.
Wetterlin continues to throw, and now Ron Peronowski is coming out, making a slow walk to the dugout. The dugouts are a long ways from the dugout to the pitcher's mound here at Dodger Stadium. And it looks like they're going to make some sort of a double switch here. They just did not want to use their closer, Jay Howell, who pitched 2 innings last night. So
I would guess, Harry, that he may have had some soreness in that knee, and the reason that they haven't used him. If there's ever a game where Lasorda needed him, it was here.
Pitching change for the Dodgers. We're in the 9th. It's 10-8 Los Angeles. Back after this brief pause.
One Tough Motor Oil announces one tough guarantee. The Quaker State 250,000-mile or 10-year guarantee. Register your new car at a participating service center. Then use only Quaker State. Have oil and filter changed as directed at a service center, and if any lubricated engine part suffers an oil-related breakdown within 250,000 miles or 10 years, you're covered. Quaker State guarantees it in writing. The big Q is One Tough Motor Oil.
Nobody tells me what to do with my body. I take responsibility for myself. I don't want anybody telling me what doctor to go to. I make my own choices. It may sound crazy. That's just the way I am.
This is a copycat, and so is this. Because Ford Taurus was first with its unique aero design. Not the Honda Accord. But the four-cylinder Accord has yet to copy the Ford's powerful V6 engine, or an interior that seats 6, or a driver's side airbag as standard equipment. For quality, price, and value, you can't beat the originals, the Ford Taurus and Taurus wagon. What will they copy next?
7-9 financing or $900 direct from Ford on Taurus at your Quality Plus Ford dealer.
Shelby will come into play left field. Shelby, if the game continues, will bat in the number 7 spot, and John Wetland, the new pitcher. Wetland appearing in his 9th game. This will be his 6th out of the bullpen. He's 1-1, lost 3, a 7.56 ERA. 16 2/3 innings he's pitched, 24 hits, 14 earned runs. Has quite a few strikeouts, 15, 5 walks. Has given up 4 homers. Tom Herr will be the first one to face Wetland with the bases loaded, 1 out in the 9th. Herr 4 for 5. Keith on at 3rd, Ron Booker at 2nd, Lenny Dykstra at 1st. Good speed on the bases with 1 down here in the 9th, and the Phillies trailing by 2. Drive down the left field line. That is a foul ball. That would have tied the ball game, but foul by a few feet. 0-1 to Tom Herr. He sort of breathes a sigh of relief. Play her around to the opposite field in the outfield, and they're playing fairly shallow. Catch by Socia. 1-1.
Almost hit Herr's foot. He really has a big gap in right center. Trying to get Goodwood on the ball somewhere.
Down ball up the middle. Off the glove of Soundwell. This game's going to be tied. Heading for 3rd, Dykstra. Safe on a close play at 3rd base. The Phillies have tied it at 10. Herr scurries to 2nd base. We'll have to wait and see how they score. I believe they scored at a hit.
Yeah, that's a base hit. Soundwell got a little leather on it, but couldn't hold it. The ball was hit sharply. It bounced over his glove. Dykstra gambling a little bit going into 3rd, but a throw was just a little off target.
Just beat the applied tag by Harris.
It's like they'll walk Hayes to load the bases.
Herr's 5th hit of the game. That ties his major league best. He accomplished in '82 and again in '86. while playing for St. Louis, but Tom has tied the game. Hayes will get the intentional walk. And they'll go after Ricky Jordan.
The risk here, of course, it makes sense to walk Hayes, set up a double play, but the risk here is that Wetland can get a little wild.
On Hayes walks, this will load the bases with 1 out in the 9th inning of a 10-10 ball game. It's up to Ricky Jordan, who is 2 out of 5.
Number 17, first baseman, Ricky Jordan.
And quickly now in the Phillies bullpen, they'll get up Roger McDowell. Ricky Jordan will try to get this one airborne somewhere. Get a go-ahead run in. Bases loaded, 1 out. Tied at 10. Nothing to Jordan. Johnny Dykstra, good speed at third. Tom Herr at second. Von Hayes at first. That's a double play ball. Somwell to Griffin. A whoa! And it goes into the Phillies dugout, and 2 runs will score. Ricky Jordan will go to second base.
Dodgers are asking for a double play on that Von Hayes slide.
Von did it earlier. Tom Lasorda is going to come out and say they're showing where Von Hayes slid, and they're asking for interference double play, but it was not ruled by Dana DeMute.
That's a judgment call by the umpire, and it will stand.
Phillies lead it by a score of 12-10.
That's unbelievable.
Give Jordan a run batted in, and that you can't assume a double play, and the other one coming on the throwing error on Alfredo Griffin. And Jordan ends up at second base.
Let's watch Hayes. He did slide wide. Let's see how wide. He didn't touch second, I don't think. No, he's not that wide.
Well, I'll tell you what, there are some umpires that would call that baby way out.
But he gets a body's length. He slid wider than that the first time, and they didn't call it. Yeah, I agree. There are umpires who would call that.
I'll tell you what,
I don't think Griffin ever touched second on the play.
That's the phantom. That's the phantom tag. We're going to give you that.
Phillies come back and win this game, Harry. I'm not going to say that they're not capable of doing anything.
John Kruk.
Here's John Kruk. The Phillies lead 12-10. Mike Scioscia looking in the dugout for some sort of direction as to whether they're going to walk Kruk here or not. Krucker has singled in 2 at-bats and knocked in 2, and they are going to walk him. Kruk will get the intentional walk. What a ball game. What a weird, wild, wacky ball game. A long time ago, Dennis Cook hit a 3-run home run. In the same inning, Cal Daniels hit a grand slam. And now Kruk is getting the intentional walk, and Carmelo Martinez will come out and bat for Terry Mulholland.
Trouble with this game is the Dodgers
they still have another at bat. But Roger Mack is up in the Phillies bullpen.
Your attention, please.
Martinez
Phillies
hitting 283 as a pinch hitter. He is 3 out of 4.
Carmelo Martinez.
hits in the dirt. 1-0. And Tommy's bullpen has really hurt him. He has Howell back, but Howell pitched 2 innings last night, so he has not been able to pitch tonight.
I guarantee you there's a good reason why he hasn't been out there.
Bullpen's 3-4 with an ERA coming into this game of 4.28, and that will go up. 1-1 the count to Carmelo Martinez. Phillies have batted around here in the ninth. Leading 12-10. Ball right there, 1-2. Key hit in this inning. Tying hit by Tom Herr, his 5th hit of the night. Herr came into this game 1 for his last 20. And he is 5 for 6 tonight, has 5 consecutive hits. It's jumping out of a slump in big fashion.
Leadoff single by Fowle, and then Booker getting a hit. And more help.
Foul tip struck him out. But the Phillies take the lead with a 4 spot in the ninth. 3 hits. 1 very costly Dodger error. 2 men left. We go to the bottom of the ninth. It's Phil's 12, Los Angeles 10.
The unintelligent way.
Bruce, I need this claim done now.
Well, here's the policy data. The photos are in here, and the rest comes from the local office.
Thanks a lot.
The intelligent way.
Bruce, I need this claim done now.
Well, here's the policy data. Photos are in here, and the rest comes from the local office.
Thanks a lot.
For image processing and systems and network integration, call Bell Atlantic.
McDonald's casting. Get a cluck for $1.
Action!
A cluck! A cluck! My kingdom!
Next. Get her out of here. Who let a mime in here? Listen, here's your motivation. Get a delicious McChicken sandwich for only $1 at McDonald's with the purchase of large fries and a large Coke. Next.
Cluck for $1?
Yes, a cluck for $1. Bigger, bigger. Cluck for $1. A cluck for $1. With a large fry and a large Coke. Yes, yes.
Today, people will do almost anything to bring their heart rate up. Fox 29's got the answer for you. Swayze at Dawn. A double shot beginning Tuesday with Steel Dawn. If that doesn't do it, then Red Dawn will.
You lose.
Swayze at Dawn. Tuesday and Wednesday at 8 on Fox 29.
Roger McDowell finishes his warm-up tosses, and as he is wont to do, ties his shoelace each time he comes out after warming up. Roger Mack is appearing in his 16th game, 1 win, no losses, 9 saves, tied for the league in saves. 4.50 ERA, trying to save this one for Terry Mulholland.
The 7th Phillies pitcher. Nobody left out there.
No. Nick Laver's going to hope for a long outing for young Pat Combs tomorrow against these Dodgers. It'll be Combs against Ramon Martinez. E.B. Brooks leading off against McDowell. Brooks is 1 for 3. 1-0. Beats a foul, 1-1. Brooks will be followed by Lenny Harris and then John Shelby. 1 ball and 1 strike to Hubie Brooks. Phils lead 12-10. Keeps a foul, 1-2. McDowell is tied with Tim Burke, the National League lead in saves with 9. Burke got his 9th this afternoon in the Expos win over the Giants. Way outside, 2-2. Pitching coach Darrell Knowles and Nick Lava smiling now. They weren't earlier. I don't know. Those smiles may be too soon.
Yeah, you know, McDowell never misses as far as he's missed the last 2 pitches. He's 2 feet outside on both of those. Lava wants to change positions. Either that or go back and
get that Frank Koppenbarger up in the bullpen.
Oh.
He walked him and it gets away from Dalton, but Brooks will hold it first. So that means the Dodgers will bring the tying run to the plate. Lenny Harris, the batter.
Lenny Harris.
McDowell got ahead of Brooks 1 and 2 and then walked him. And here's Lenny Harris. Came in as a pinch hitter and stayed in the game. Grounded out in his only at bat. A little chopper fouled on the first base side. Nothing more. McDowell is it for Nick Lava. He's already used his entire bullpen and 1 starter. Actually, 2 starters. He used a starter in relief. 1-1. Brooks is going to stop at second, and the Dodgers have their first 2 men on base here in the bottom of the 9th. I tell you, this is just a wacky game.
Well, he just squirted it in there in first and second. John Shelby up there, and I suppose he's up there to bunt.
Think so? I guess. Play for a tie at home. Play for a 12-12 tie at home. Shelby's hitting .222. He is a switch hitter. Hitting .250 left-handed.
He'll either hit a 3-run homer or hit into a triple play, Harry. It'll be one of the 2. Boy, this game is gone.
He was around a bunt, but the pitch misses 1-0. Let's pause for station identification on the Phillies television network.
WTXF, Fox 29 in Philadelphia.
2 men on base, nobody out for the Dodgers. Bottom of the 9th, Phillies lead 12-10. Snap throw to second base. If Dalton got that on the third base side, they would have had Hubie Brooks. 1-1 to Shelby.
Hubie's been picked off once tonight. That's right. If that throw is good, he's out. Close anyway.
1 ball and 1 strike to Shelby. Missed on the bunt try. 1-2. Ball and 2 strikes to John Shelby. Alfredo Griffin is due up next. Swinging away, and he gets a hit in the gap to right center field. 1 run's going to score. Here comes the tying run to the plate, and he's safe. The ball gets away from Dalton. Shelby goes to third. And this is now a 12-12 game, and Nick Leyva comes out of the dugout.
I think they're asking for interference at home plate. They're not going to get it. John Shelby didn't come close to bunting the ball twice and then hits a shot like that. And I'll tell you, this game, you have a hard time figuring this game out. Now the Phillies are fighting for their lives.
Now it's tied at 12 with a winning run at third base and nobody out. Gives Shelby a double, 2 runs batted in. He goes to third on the throw to the plate. There it is.
He hit the sinker ball. Extra hitting cutoff man. Hers throw. Now see, there's where they're calling interference with Hubie Brooks's left arm hitting Darren Dalton on a play. Yeah, see, he hit him going by.
Well, that's what Nick was coming out about right here. I mean, Lenny Harris.
That is interference. I mean, that was deliberate.
Lenny Harris, the base runner.
Or Harris, not Hubie Brooks. You're right.
So the Dodgers have come back to tie it at 12. Nick Leyva heads back to the dugout. Phillies probably would.
Alfredo Griffin.
Maybe walk Griffin and Socia. And go after Samuel.
Well, I tell you, this is hard to believe, this ball game, huh?
Yes, it is.
What a great game to win. What a tough one to lose.
Guess they've scored an error on Darren Dalton, enabling Shelby to go to third. And he would get third on the throw.
I think it's on Dalton. But Harris really gave him a lick going by.
Dodger runners first and third. Nobody out. Mike Socia will be walked also. To load the bases. Going to go after Juan Samuel. Well, Nick Leyva thought he had things going for himself with a 4-run ninth inning and a 12-10 lead,
and his closer.
In the game. McDowell got ahead of Brooks 1 and 2 and then walked him. Gave up a base hit to Lenny Harris, and John Shelby was showing bunt.
Number 10, second baseman.
Jay Howell does get up in the Dodger bullpen. Phillies will bring the infield up, bring the outfield up with the bases loaded, nobody out. strike to Samuel. Dan Javier waiting on deck. Little dribbler. McDowell, they got the force at the plate. This game is still alive.
What a play by Roger McDowell. Great play.
For out number 1, base is still loaded.
He did what he had to do. Get in there, barehand the ball, and scoop it at the same time. Get the force.
Here's Stan Javier. He runs well. I wouldn't take a chance at a 4-6-3 double play. Infield in about halfway. Javier 1 for 3 with 2 walks. Bases loaded. Griffin, good speed at third base, represents the ball game. This will be the ball game.
No.
The runner's hold. He didn't tag.
He didn't tag.
I can't believe it. I cannot believe it.
Either.
Alfredo Griffin was down the line, did not tag. Crutch caught the ball on his knees. Griffin could have waltzed home, but the bases are still loaded.
That's what you bring your outfield in for on these kind of plays. That looked like a clean base hit, but it stayed up. And Crook got up in a hurry, but Griffin did not tag. He had gone down the line.
What it? Tommy looking on, he's ready to sprint out of the dugout. He said, what's going on? Now 2 outs with the bases loaded, and the batter is pinch hitter Mickey Hatcher, hitting at .217. Missed inside, 1-0.
You don't want to go too far inside there on Hatcher. He'll let the ball hit it.
Bases still loaded, 2 outs, 12-12 game. Keeps a foul, third base side, 1-1. Game. Tied at 12. There have been 30 hits in the game. Phillies with 18 of them. 5 errors. The shortstop, Dickie Thon, we're going extra innings. They get the force at second base. And that will retire the side. For Los Angeles in the 9th. 2 runs, 2 hits, 1 Philly error. They leave them loaded. And after 9 innings, it's the Phils 12, Los Angeles 12.
Every day, it makes things happen.
Matchmaker, 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 matchmaker.
The Matchmaker, the New Jersey Bell Yellow Pages.
Every day it goes to work. Every day it matches more buyers with more sellers. Every day we use it and use it more.
Excuse me, can I use this?
The genuine New Jersey Bell Yellow Pages. No other book can match it. A Bell Atlantic company.
There was a time when baseball wasn't big business. It was just a game. A game played in sprawling metropolises like Danville, Illinois, Elmira, New York, and Middletown, Ohio. Now, compared to those places, Philadelphia is a big city. But there are times when even Philadelphia seems a little smaller, a little friendlier. Like when you walk into a certain stadium, and we hope when you walk into a certain bank.
Well, Tom Lasorda did not want to use his relief ace, Jay Howell, but he's forced to here in the 10th inning with the score tied at 12-12. Howell got a save in last night's game, going 2 innings. Arthroscopic knee surgery, which put him on the DL. He's coming on here in the 10th.
Coming in to pitch for the Dodgers.
Howell appearing in his 5th game, 1 win, 1 loss, 1 save, a 3.0 ERA. So that's Jay Howell coming on here in the 10th inning of a 12-12 ball game. What a wacky game.
Game has been won and lost a lot of times by both clubs. Phillies 12 runs, 18 hits. Dodgers 12 runs, 12 hits. Phillies have made 3 errors. The Dodgers have made 2.
It would be the type of game after this kind of battle that would really be heartbreaking to lose. It'll make for a short night for both teams with the day game tomorrow.
Mike Scioscia's being treated in his right eye there. I don't know whether he has contacts or something in his eye.
Mickey Thon will lead off this 10th inning. He led off the 9th with a base hit when the Phillies scored 4, only to see the Dodgers come back and get 2.
It's kind of a game it is, that young man. Enjoying it. $44,000 people here earlier, but a lot of them have gone home, and they've missed quite a finish. Everybody goes home here in the 7th inning for some reason.
Both managers have used 7 pitchers as we move to the 10th inning. Mickey Thon will lead it off.
Number 21.
Thon is 2 for 5.
Mickey Thon.
to 12 here in the 10th. Shot to shortstop. Alfredo Griffin throws Thon out. 1 pitch, 1 down here in the 10th. It'll bring on Darren Dalton. Now after that onslaught in the regulation 9 innings, it'll probably take teams 6, 7 innings to score a run.
Number 10, catcher Darren.
I'm just wondering what both managers are going to do for their next pitcher if they need him. Go to a starter, they have to. Unless you throw an infielder or utility man out there in the mound.
Darren Dalton takes a strike. Dalton came in as a pinch hitter and stayed in the game. He's nothing out of 3. fouls it off his foot. 0-2 to Dalton. Rod Booker due up next. Well, 12 tie here in the 10th. That's the scene of the lonely Phillies bullpen. Pat Combs is out there with Steve Lake. Combs scheduled to start tomorrow's game. Dalton, base hit, right field. So Dutch is a one-out base runner, and that'll bring on Rod Booker.
19th hit.
Really?
Number 37, third baseman, Rod Booker.
Booker has singled in his only at-bat. And strike. Is there anybody in the Dodger bullpen, or is it vacant? The site is blocked in that Dodger bullpen. Looks like it's totally empty. Nope. A couple of bodies out there. In the air to center field. Falling fast. It drops for a base hit. Hit number 20 for the Phillies. Good night.
I don't think Lefty Grove and Walter Johnson would get him out tonight. Booker didn't get much of it, but nobody near it.
Lenny Dykstra.
That'll bring up Lenny Dykstra, who is 2 for 5 with a walk. He has scored 3 runs. Two men on base and 1 out. We're in the 10th inning, tied at 12. Off's a foul, third base side. It'll go out of play. 1 strike to Dykstra. This would be some stat night to get ready for tomorrow. We diffuse this ball game. Get it all in the record books. Fouls it out of play. Dykstra in the hole, 0-2. Two strikes to Lenny Dykstra. Tie with him, 1-2.
Phillies have one player that they haven't used. That's Sil Campusano.
So when the Swallows come back too. Campusano. I think the Phillies will probably keep McDowell in for as long as he feels he can go. He's another pitcher here. Hard ground ball. Somwell. Make a play anywhere. He made a good grab and then He fell and it kicked out of his glove. It'll be a hit for Dykstra, and the Phillies have the bases loaded, 1 out.
21 hits. Tommy Lasorda cannot believe this.
Either can they?
They're at the mercy. The managers are at the mercy of the fates tonight.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what.
No matter what they do.
Pull.
Care who you throw out there. Her already has 5 hits, 5 in a row. Tommy got leather in it, on it, had it, rolled away. That's those gremlins out there.
Our ground ball. Murray will come home.
Oh, he dropped it.
He dropped the ball, but out at home plate is Darren Dalton. He said he was taking it out of his glove. So that's out number 2 in the inning.
Dalton gave Scioscia a pretty good lick on that slide across home plate, and I suppose that's what threw him off balance. I wasn't too sure that he had clear possession of the ball. So he had to stretch for that throw, and he had to. I don't think.
Taking it out of the glove.
Well, he had it in his bare hand, but he didn't really have good possession of it.
Bases loaded, 2 outs. It's up to Von Hayes. Hayes 1 hit in 4 at-bats with 2 walks.
And a few bullets dodged in this game.
Really? Popped him up and should be out of the inning. Alfredo Griffin makes the play. So the Phillies leave the bases loaded, and now through 10 has stranded 15 men. No runs, 3 hits, no errors, 3 left. You go to the bottom of the 10th, it's Phil's 12, Dodgers 12.
I like my doctor because she's really nice. And one time I was at the shoe store and I fell on top of these shoes and I needed to go to the doctor's to get stitches. It only hurt a little bit. The doctor took care of me.
McDonald's casting. Get a cluck for $1.
Action!
A cluck! A cluck! My kingdom!
Next. A cluck? What is that? Get her out of here. Who let a mime in here? Listen, here's your motivation. Get a delicious McChicken sandwich for only $1 at McDonald's with the purchase of large fries and a large Coke. Next.
$1 for $1. Yes! A cluck for $1. Bigger! Bigger! Cluck for $1. A cluck for $1. With a large fry and a large Coke. Yes! Yes!
Don't miss a once-in-a-lifetime event, the Mike Schmidt Tribute, where his number is retired. You'll receive a free commemorative booklet courtesy of Hi-Fi House and Panasonic, Saturday, May 26, 7:05, when the Phillies play the Braves. For information, call 463-1000.
Bottom half of the 10th inning, tied at 12. Eddie Murray will lead off for the Dodgers, getting last-minute instructions from Tom Lasorda. Said, Eddie,
hit a home run.
Hit this ball out of the ballpark so we can all go home and get ready for tomorrow.
Don't forget to touch the bases, huh?
Murray is hitless tonight. He's nothing out of 4 with a walk. (12-12). Phillies with 21 hits. Dodgers with 12 hits. Phillies, who lead the league in men left on base, have stranded 15 tonight. Phillies in the 10th had the bases loaded, 1 out, but the Dodgers in the bottom of the 9th had the game tied with the bases loaded, no outs. He didn't win it. Base hit, Eddie Murray. So Murray is a leadoff base runner. It'll bring up Hubie Brooks. Hubie not called upon to bunt much.
I don't think he'll bunt here either.
Hubie has singled in 3 official at-bats. He's also been hit by a pitch and walked.
Nick's seen enough, I believe.
Murray at first base, nobody out. He fouls it back out of play. 1-1. Doug Harvey, the crew chief of this umpiring crew, has seen an awful lot, a lot of pitches tonight.
He's umpired a great game, too.
He has. Out of play, 2 strikes to Hubie Brooks.
Maybe trying to poke that one over there on the right side.
Roger McDowell in his second inning. Gave up 2 runs in the 9th. Bouncing ball might be 2. Found 1. Relay, yes. Double play. Hubie Brooks grounds into a 4-6-3 double play. 2 outs and no base runners. And the batter will be Lenny Harris.
Number 29, Lenny Harris.
Lenny Harris came in as a pinch hitter and stayed in the game. He's 1 for 2. Played when Tom Lasorda pacing the dugouts, knowing that, hey, this one's out of our hands. Just let these guys decide it out in the field. See what happens.
He's looking at Dickie Knowles, who's on the disabled list. Maybe he could activate him and let him throw. He can't, of course, but
be a base hit. Well, Lenny Harris singles. See, what if Tommy would have bunted, he would be Brooks.
Yeah. Is that John Shelby again?
Shelby was up there to bunt in his only other at bat in this game. And he couldn't get it down on 2 strikes, so he doubled to tie the game. It's not been a bad hitter lifetime against Roger McDowell. He's 4 for 11 with 3 RBIs. Lenny Harris. Try to pilfer one here.
Stolen 6.
Minor leagues, he stole 45 at Nashville in '88. 6 at Glens Falls, 4 at Cincinnati in that same year, so he stole 55 in 1 season. Didn't play much last year. He was the utility man. So he didn't amass that many steals, but he can run. Showing an indication of doing so, however, it's 0-2.
going to steal. It'd probably be this next pitch, or one of the next two pitches. I'd be surprised to see Dalton pitch out here.
2 strikes to count to John Shelby. See what Dalton does here. He did pitch out, nothing on. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Now this is the time he ought to pitch out right here.
I just go after the hitter.
Yeah, you got
behind.
You got 2 strikes. Yeah. But they, you know, might as well throw in a little logic in this game. There he goes.
Struck him out. Went after the hitter, see. Struck him right out of there. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left. Andy Musser comes your way in the 11th. After 10, Phil's 12, Dodgers 12.
Where's the one place in Orlando where the forecast calls for bright, sunny skies with occasional showers?
Thank you.
Some of the snacks you can buy at SeaWorld are so good, you'll want to share them with a friend. Visit our dolphin feeding pool.
There are a lot of full-size sedans out there, so why buy a Dodge Dynasty? Well, in addition to driver's side airbags, front-wheel drive, available anti-lock brakes, and the longest powertrain warranty in its class, this Dynasty has the best fuel economy of any car in its class. Need more convincing? It also has the lowest price. And you know your Dodge dealer will work hard to give you a great deal. Dynasty. For safety and value, any way you look at it, it's advantage Dodge.
A BMW test was run on each of the 6 leading national gasolines. In 5 of those tests, deposits on dirty intake valves got worse. One gasoline did completely the opposite. Texaco System 3. It actually removed deposits others left behind. And it's an all-octane grade, not just premium.
Now available in 93 octane. And you thought all gasolines were the same.
Andy Musser with us for 11th inning baseball. It's only, well, let's see, 2:30 in the morning back in Philadelphia.
Well, that makes it early out here, doesn't it? It's only 11:34. But it seems to me that the next game starts in about, what, 12 and a half, 13 hours now, something like that. Anyway, we got to settle this issue first. And Ricky Jordan will be leading off the 11th inning. Only the Hardy fans have remained. Ricky Jordan, 2 out of 6 tonight. 2 singles. 1 run scored, 2 runs driven in. He'll be facing Jay Howell for the first time. He swung. That's a strike. You know, a guy that you have to show a little sympathy with tonight is the league's oldest umpire here. Doug Harvey has had the plate, and he's been out there for 4.5 hours. Doesn't get a chance to sit down between innings. It's a long night.
He did make one concession. They brought him a drink a couple innings ago. A drink of water.
Oh, Ricky is hit. Ouch. But he's on.
Well, Howell certainly didn't want to do that.
I betcha. Not sharp, particularly after just coming off the DL, but here's this pitch that gets Ricky right in the arm. Ouch.
Yeah, that got meat there.
Well, what's the strategy? Is John Kruk going to bunt?
No, McDowell's up there next, and Layla really doesn't have any more pitchers.
Sent Pat Combs to the bullpen a while ago, but
Pat is down there, but he's supposed to pitch tomorrow. And, you know, they could change that. They could move the starting pitchers up a day, but Kruk will not be bunting.
there is nobody that hopes that Pat Combs doesn't get in this game tonight more than me.
Use the whiteout.
Plenty of it. There he goes. Jordan was running on the pitch. Kruk fouls it back. 1 ball, 1 strike. Trying to get a little motion in this offense now.
Kruk had a good pitch to hit, too, and he had the shortstop Griffin covering, so he had the whole left side of the infield almost to hit through.
The strategy here is to get Kruk aboard and then let McDowell come up and bunt. That would be perfect. Ball 2, 2-1.
Good pitch here to. You want to hit and run again.
John Kruk didn't come into the game until the 6th inning. He's already batting for the 4th time. Kruk had a 2-run single in the 8th inning for the Phillies. It's hit through the hole on the opposite side. Jordan doesn't want to take any chances, though he stays at second as Shelby got that ball in a hurry, but that's exactly what the Phillies want. It's 1st and 2nd, and McDowell can come up and bunt.
Dodgers had Griffin covering again. I don't think it made any difference. That ball was pretty much hit in the hole anyway. That's good hitting by John Kruk. Just poked it through there. And now, you know, we're in such a lead pipe cinch bunt here that I suppose the Dodgers will go to their rotation play.
McDowell has not batted this year. Dodger infielders talk it over here. Murray and the pitcher.
The way this game is gone, this might be a good time to let the pitcher swing.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
It might work. I mean, you're going to have 4 infielders on the move here. They could just roll a ground ball somewhere. It's going to be very hard to bunt.
Low ball 1, and Socha came up looking to throw somewhere. Rotation play was on. The on-deck hitter is Dickie Thon.
If he's going to bunt, I'm sure he will. I think he would like to have Eddie Murray field the ball.
So we'll look for a push bunt from Roger. Rotation play on. There's the bunt, but he hits it toward third. Fielded by Howell. He goes to third. They get him out. Oh, that was close. Oh, that was close. My goodness. But no argument by Bowen.
Boy, Howell double clutched. And I thought he'd lost the play. Pretty good bunt, really. And Howell made a good play. I'll tell you. That is close. I mean, that is close. He's safe. He beat that ball.
Strange that Boa wouldn't argue that play. Well, that'll be a fielder's choice. That's the first out. Now Dickie Thon bats. Way outside. Dickie is 2 out of 6 this evening, single and double. He's hitting at .242. We are in a 12-12 11th inning tie. For those of you who have stayed with us for the entire ball game, this is one you won't quickly forget. Larry Ball calls time. He'll talk it over with Dickey. So the Dodgers will take advantage, and Eddie Murray comes to the mound to talk it over with Howell. But Howell delivers a warm-up pitch instead.
About the only thing that Boa could have been saying to Thon, you know, that the third baseman is playing deep. Maybe you could beat out a bunt, load the bases with one down. Dalton coming up next. Harris is playing very deep.
Missed with the pitch, 2-0.
Evidently, he didn't tell him anything about a bunt.
The hit totals in this game amazing. 22 for the Phillies, 14 for the Dodgers. A line drive, base hit. Let's see what happens to Kruk. He's being held. The bases are loaded.
I tell you, Javier made a good play there. He was playing very shallow. Playing very shallow. And Boa had to hold the runner. There was no chance to score.
Ron Peronowski is headed for the mound for the umpteenth time tonight. Whenever Tommy decided not to go to the mound anymore, he really saved himself a lot of legwork, didn't he?
Saved some mileage tonight.
My goodness.
Peronowski's been out there a lot.
Perry's walking slower and slower. Well, we've got Darren Dalton scheduled to bat now. Dutch is hitting for the 5th time in a game he didn't enter until the 5th inning. Doug Harvey out to speed things along a little bit. Bill Russell is on the mic to Joe Ferguson upstairs here.
Catcher, Darren Dalton.
Nick Leyva has no eye in the sky. He can see it all from right there. Darren Dalton singled his last time up. At that point, Dutch was 1 for 20, but he came through with a big hit for the Phillies in the 10th inning. They, however, failed to capitalize on that 10th inning situation.
Infield is a double play depth. Now you're close at the corners, first and third. The fielders are up tight, but second baseman and shortstop are back.
Which has a rip. Pitcher's outside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Good pitch to hit there for him. It was right out there where he could extend his arms, but he fouled it off.
One on Dutch. Phillies have had base runners in every inning tonight and hits in every inning except 2. Line drive, but caught by Somwell. The runners get back, though. Oh. Smoked it, but right at Sammy. Second out. Rod Booker will be the hitter.
Number 37, Rod Booker.
Well, you begin to wonder.
Here is Booker batting for the 3rd straight inning, and he's 2 for 2. Booker came in the game in the 8th.
Dalton can't hit it much better. He hit a rope. Well, didn't have to move right at him.
Fortunately, the runners were alert and everybody got back. Now bases loaded, 2 out. Booker batting .286. Long-time minor leaguer in the Cardinals system. Booker finally makes it to the major leagues this year. He's 31, but still does not have enough time to have a year of service. Full year in the majors. He hits one to open spaces in right center. Extra bases for Booker. Kruk scores. McDowell scores. Play to third base late. It's a triple. The Phillies have picked up 3 to lead it 15-12.
Well, Javier had been playing a very shallow center field, and he was burned here because Booker just smoked it right over his head. There it is, fastball out away from him, good swing. Javier didn't have a chance. I think Javier's playing shallow saved him an earlier run, but this one cost him.
Dykstra, center field.
Big triple. That's 3 straight hits by Booker since he came in the game.
In 3 innings. 3 hits in 3 innings. So it's 15-12 Phillies. This is the biggest lead the Phillies have had. They've never been ahead by more than 2 before. Here's Dykstra sending a fly out in the left where Shelby should put it away to end the inning. And he does. But the Phillies with major damage in the 11th. 3 runs, 3 hits, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 11th. Don't go away now. It's 15-12.
On your mark for summer driving. Get set at True Value Hardware stores. Go in style. Protect that shine with Turtle Wax Plus Auto Polish, only $4.49 each. Gold Eagle tire inflator and sealant for $1.77 can fix a flat on the car. Rain-X, the invisible windshield wiper for just $1.99 improves visibility. And get this high-pressure tire pump from Big Boy Products, just $6.88 at participating True Value Hardware stores and home centers.
The Italians lust for anything American. So in cars, Tonio Liguori prefers an American one. And of all the ways to a woman's heart, he chooses the American way. Cool, clean, Old Spice. #1 in America. #1 in the world. Only one deodorant in the world has so many odor-fighting ingredients with the cool, clean scent of Old Spice.
Sunday, Totally Hidden Video sneaks up on summer.
We've got the Volkswagen Jetta.
The surf.
I'd like to show you something here.
Oh, my God! The sun.
Contestant #1.
And the fun, all in a 1-hour special. Plus, we'll award the $25,000 grand prize to this year's wildest home video. On Totally Hidden Video's Summer Surprise, a 1-hour special.
Sunday night at 7 on Fox 29.
Well, here we go to the bottom of the 11th, and the Phillies are up by 3. Their biggest lead of the game. It is 15-12. But Rogers got to find a way to get Alfredo Griffin out. He's been tough tonight. He's 3 out of 4. Was walked intentionally last time up. He scored twice, driven in 2 runs. Alfredo hitting at .301. He tries to bunt his way on. He missed that one, 0-2. He'll be followed by Scioscia and Samuel.
Like he was trying to slap that ball like past the mound. But he took a kind of a weak swing at a sinker.
A little flare back of shortstop. It is in for a hit. Alfredo Griffin came into the game 5 for 29, and he has 4 hits tonight.
I can't believe it. Head in the count. Just reached out and poked it over the infield.
Number 14.
And this is a tough out here in Scioscia.
Look at the hit column. 24 for the Phillies and 15 for the Dodgers. 39 hits here tonight. Scioscia has hit into a fielder's choice and was walked intentionally. No sign of a bunt here. Scioscia has sacrificed this year, though, once. Looking on the charts. Back to McDowell, a great fielding pitcher. He'll take the out over at first base since the Phillies lead by 3. 1 out. Griffin at second base. Juan Samuel will hit. Juan is 0 for 4 this evening with a walk and a sacrifice. Fans are a little tough on him. He's had his problems at second base. to 12 Phillies in the 11th. Ball 1 on Samuel. Juan is hitting 191. Strike 1-1. Remember way back when Dennis Cook hit a 3-run home run? Seems like a different ball game. And of course it's already Sunday where you are, and it's going to be Sunday here in another 7 minutes now. They may change the bus time tomorrow, Whitey.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. About noon.
A little tapper. McDowell can't get it. Tommy Herr there. Throw to first. He got him. Griffin takes third, but Samuel is the second out in a very close play.
That was a close play. He just barely got him. Just before the foot hit the bag.
Before they work on Stan Javier, Darren Dalton goes to the mound to talk with McDowell. Need one more out in this long evening of baseball. It is what, nearly a 5-hour game? That's right, almost 5 hours, just short of it. By about 10 minutes right now. Roger uses the windup here, and Javier bunts, but once it goes foul. Strike 1. Roger McDowell trying to put away Stan Javier and put an end to things here. What a comeback win this will be. The Dodgers blew 3 leads of more than 1 run. Twice they were up by 2, and once they were up by 3, weren't they? Forget now. I know they were up by 2 twice. Am I imagining that 3-run lead? A little chopper in front of the plate. Dalton fields. It's a foul ball. Harvey calls it foul.
They were up by 3 early in the ball game. They had an 8-5 lead.
That's right.
That was in the 4th, at the end of the 4th inning, when both teams scored 5 runs in the 4th inning.
The Phillies blew 2 2-run leads.
Yeah.
Ball and 2 strikes on Javier. Just completing his first week with the Dodgers. What a way to wind it up. That's going to be a dunker. It's real trouble. Kruk makes the play. How about that? The Phillies have recovered to win one of the wildest games you'll ever see. 4:50 is the time. Is that right? 4:50 the game time here this evening as